Hey guys, Leash here from Massage Champions, and I wanted to jump in and do a bit of a live. I know that there's a bunch of new people in here, which is absolutely awesome. Massive welcome to you all, and just kind of say hi and introduce myself a little bit in case you don't know who I am. My role is that I am one of the creator of the Massage Business Support Network, which is now Hey Christine worldwide, which is pretty awesome. And I am also one of the owners of Massage Champions. Specifically, we do business coaching for massage therapists. We help them to be able to see more clients, be able to get clarity, and empower them to be able to take great steps in their business. So a little bit of a hi, and great to have you here if you're new. If you've been around for ages, also hi, lovely to have you here too. What I wanted to jump in and just sort of talk about, there was a great question by Hannah, I think it was last week, about should I charge less for relaxation massage or for Swedish massage that she does? And it's a great question. There were some really great responses, and I just wanted to jump in and throw a little bit in myself and basically just talk a bit about this, because I think money is one of those things that a lot of people are like, oh, nope, not talking about money. We'll talk about, marketing and advertising and all that sort of stuff. But a lot of people aren't actually comfortable with the word money. And I know that because I speak to hundreds of therapists on the phone every year, and sometimes every month, depending on, what we're doing. And I know that money is a massive trigger for people, and it's something that often we're like, no, I just want to help people. We kind of have blind spots, and we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to think about it. We just want everything to work and not have to really think about it too hard. So what I wanted to share in this live is a little bit about why, should you actually, if you are doing something different, if you have different modalities, should you be charging less because of what you're doing? And so welcome to everybody who's on, by the way. Great to see you all here. But I wanted to share a bit about my own experience as a massage therapist. I worked at day spas when I was studying. So I got my Cert 4. I worked at day spas, Anglesey, and at Daylesford as well. And then also while I was running my own clinic and worked up at Mount Hotham, where there's a few fires at the moment, and fingers crossed it's going to be okay. But often we have this perception, and I think it's the way we're taught, because part of my experience is that I actually taught at TAFE as well. We have this perception that I'm not that qualified, and we kind of have this propensity to actually minimize what it is that we know and the impact that whatever we're bringing to the room actually makes on our clients. And so I wanted to share with you guys, and I'm really curious to know from any of you guys that are watching this at the moment, is when we're doing just relaxation massage, which I say in inverted commas because I think it's so much more than that is there really any reason to charge less than if we're doing remedial? And I'm curious to know what you guys think as well. Feel free to weigh in on this. But what I think is that when we are qualified to do something, that we are well within our rights and it's reasonable to charge for that. And so what I want you guys to think about when you're looking at what you're charging is not so much what's everyone else doing, because it's the first thing we'll do. We'll go, I'll just find what everyone else is doing and I'll just charge a bit less because I'm not as qualified or experienced or whatever it is. Because I think we have this incredible propensity to actually minimize the knowledge that we have. And it's kind of like we all know what we know, and we know what we don't know. I can do remedial massage or Bowen or craniosacral therapy or coach people or lives or whatever. That's stuff I know how to do. There's a bunch of stuff that I know that I don't know. And, I don't know how to fight fires like Jason's doing right now. Hi, Jason, by the way. I don't know how to drive truck. I don't know how to speak Japanese. There's lots of things that I know that I don't know. But here's the thing. Often what we tend to do is we look at what we do know and we minimize it, because it's like, and we sort of downplay the stuff that we know. I'm not that good, or I haven't had as much experience, but I just, there's always a just or a should or a kind of a minimizing word in front of what it is that we know. And we tend to minimize that. And then we embiggen or make it bigger what we don't know. But everybody else who, if I was remedial or if I had more experience or, whatever it is, then I should definitely be able to charge more or do more because those people know so much more than I do. And it's like we embiggen the stuff that we don't know. And I think just like Chelsea said, so true, is it's just an incredible skill set like remedial massage. Relaxation massage is something that so many people actually need, and they need because we live in a disconnected, overly stimulated community where there's so much going on, but we don't actually connect with one another in the way that we can or would have in the past. And so I think relaxation massage is such a beautiful gift and skill to be able to share with people, because you get to hold the space. You get to actually help people's nervous system to relax. You get to help people's, body and unwiring to be able to just chill, and feel okay. And I think that that's such a powerful thing. And why shouldn't we charge for that? One of the things that James talks about when people are like, I should charge less because everyone else charges more. He's like, you want to be reassuringly expensive. And if somebody is charging X amount, then by all means, charge more. Be the most expensive person in your area. The more you charge, the more people come. Like, I have seen this time and time and time again. I get on a call with people, and I'm yet to find someone who's charging $100 an hour or more here in Australia, or $50 to $70 pounds in the UK, who is charging that amount and really struggling with clients. Now, they might be struggling to see more clients than they actually want, but they're not sitting at home struggling to put food on the table. Whereas I do speak to therapists who are actually in a place where they're struggling and thinking about going back to work, not because they want to, but because they have to actually put food on the table. And I think, a lot of that is to do with the story we tell ourselves around what it is that we charge. And it's the story we tell ourselves about whether we are minimizing what we know and embiggening what we don't know. Maybe it's time to actually flip that and go, what if what I know is actually really powerful, and I have the capacity to be able to help people and change people's lives just simply by holding the space. Yeah, absolutely. Exactly, Jason. They do need it right now because of the stress from the fires. Fires are super stressful if you're near them or around them, and whether you're fighting them or whether you're impacted by them. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's so incredibly important. And to have someone stand there and hold the space. I was talking to a client over the weekend who had the opportunity to work with somebody who was in, some of the really, really heavily fire affected areas, and just to be able to hold the space for that person and just love their body and love them through the process. She can't fix anything. She can't change the fact that everything burned down. She can't fix that. But what she can do in that space is just do what it is that she's gifted in doing. Do what it is what she's qualified, and actually notice and recognize the impact that it's making, which actually embiggens what it is that she knows, which is so incredibly powerful, because what it does is honor the skills that she has, and it honors the pain that the person is going through without diminishing and minimizing anything. And I think that is what people are paying for. When you can hold the space for someone and really empower them and honor the knowledge that you do have, that you have trained, the experience that you do have, and rather than minimizing or dismissing it, actually hold on to that and honor it and treasure it and cherish it. I think that you actually empower others to do the same in their life, which is really, really powerful. And so I think that it doesn't really matter what skills you're qualified to do, but it's okay to be charging what it's worth, because when people came to see me, whether they were seeing remedial, whether they were having craniosacral therapy, whether they were having Bowen therapy, whether they were whatever they were doing, whatever felt right and the person had consented to, is what we did in the treatment room, because I was qualified or I am qualified in all those things. And so, and I didn't charge differently because of it. I only charged differently for ear candling. Again, I was qualified to do. So, and that was just simply because there was candles involved in that. So I think that whatever you are skilled to do and you're qualified to do is what you should be charging for. And you don't need to be charging less, because there's no less just because it's and minimizing that. But it actually is an incredible opportunity to really hold the space for people, love them through the process, and be able to share the passion that you have and that the reason that you became a therapist, to be able to help people, you can actually share that with them in the treatment room, regardless of what modalities you're actually practicing. I still fundamentally believe that $90 should be the minimum standard for in Australia, because I think that's kind of, like I see my chiropractor and he sees me for 20 minutes and it's $65 and I never question it. The osteopath that my grandpa sees charges $80 for a 45-minute session. There's no reason why we can't be charging. Most people who come to Access Massage they've usually got 1 or 2 cars, they've got a gym membership, they've possibly got private health insurance, and they're not struggling to put food on the table. Most people who want to access massage they're doing so from more of an abundance than we think. What we tend to do, and I know because I've done this in the past myself, is that we figure out, how should I charge? I'll charge just by keeping everybody comfortable. And often we step into business when we've been the consumer, and so we want to kind of work for the consumer and make sure that everyone's happy. But running a business from that perspective doesn't work. It just simply doesn't. You have to look at your business expenses and go, right, well, what do I want to pay myself? What does it cost to open my doors? And how many treatments do I want to do? And actually work it out accordingly. And there is that's a formula that you can use. But as a standard, $90 for a session is what people are charging throughout Australia. And I know so many people say to me, but I couldn't possibly charge that in my socioeconomic area. Yeah, I get that, but I also know that there are people in really remote areas charging more than that. I know people that have gone from 95 to 130 and have a wait list, and they've done that in 1 week. And don't be afraid of putting your prices up, or at least have a plan of putting your prices up. I think Hannah, who sort of gave me the idea for this live, said that she hadn't put her prices up in 4 years. It's like, well, everybody else is putting their prices up. Everyone else, your suppliers, your energy, your water, your towels, every single thing that you guys are paying for is all going up. And it's okay to do that. But what we tend to do is we find one person on our database that is really struggling, 1 or 2 people, and we base our entire business decision on making them comfortable. When in actual fact, a majority of people that come and see you are probably sitting a lot more comfortably than you are. And again, I know this from having these conversations. So when you're charging what you're worth, then you can actually look after those people who are really struggling. Maybe they only book in for a half hour and maybe you give them 45 minutes of your time. Maybe you have a handful of people that that are really struggling and you might keep them at a cheaper rate. But honestly, you want to make sure that you are charging accordingly, because at the end of the day, if you're not making money in your business, you have bought yourself a hobby. And I honestly think that working really hard and not being financially rewarded is the quickest way to burn out. It's soul destroying when you go into the treatment room, you slug your guts out, you see 5 or 6, 7 clients in a day and a few days in a row and you're exhausted. And then you look in your bank account and go, crap, there's no money. It's tough. It's really, really tough. And it's not fun and it's not pretty. And it doesn't make you feel good about the way things are going. And so my encouragement and invitation to you guys is to really start to think about your business from the business perspective, rather than thinking about it as a hobby or trying to make people comfortable, and really, really actually going, you know what, I need to look at what are my expenses? What does it cost me to do a massage? Because it cost you money. Even if you're working from home, there's a cost involved in doing massage at home. So what is it costing me to open the doors? How do I want to be remunerated? Most of the time when people are employed, they're making around-ish $40 per treatment. By the time you put loading on and super and all that kind of stuff, most people who are employed are making around $40 per treatment. So you should be factoring that in. And there should be money on top, because you also want to be able to pay tax, super, GST, etc. And if you're only charging $60, $70, there's not enough money in there. There's not enough of a profit margin to be able to pay yourself in there as well, and pay the things that you need. And so, and maybe you only want to see 10 or 15 clients a week. You don't want to be making, $100 for that. You want to make sure that you're actually making enough money that you can survive and enjoy and have time off and go away with your family and, be able to have 4 weeks annual leave a year and things like that. And so rather than waiting for things to happen and kind of just kind of hit and miss, our invitation to you is to really think about your business from the business perspective and think like a business leader. And it's okay to do that. because I truly believe that you can run a heart-centered business and make money. I don't think that it has to be either one or, I don't think it has to be one or the other. ¿Por qué no los dos? Which means, why can't we have both? Why can't we run a really heart-centered business where we are caring for people and taking great care of them and be able to make money in the process? And I think that it's possible to do both. And I know a bunch of you guys that are listening and watching this also, you might have worked with us or you've heard us talk about this, but sometimes just someone banging on about it and having the courage to talk about money is what needs to be said for you to get the inspiration to go, you know what, I am going to put my prices up. I'm just going to do it on the 1st of Feb this year. I'm going to have a price rise. You don't need to warn everybody and make a great big song and dance about it. Just simply put a sign on the 1st of Feb that says, letting you know, as of the 1st of Feb, prices have gone up. You don't even need to apologize for it because, like I said, everything goes up every year. Your clients even expect it. So for you guys, all you need to do is go, okay, you know what, prices have gone up. So next time when you come in, it will be X amount. So no one's getting ripped off or the bait and switch or anything like that. They will know, but you just kind of, when they come in, you go, yep, cool, I'm just letting you know we've had a price rise today. So next time when you come in, it'll be X amount. And any new person, charge the new price. Woohoo! And the first time you do it, someone goes, how much do you charge? You're like, $95 for an hour. And they go, okay, no worries, I'll see you tomorrow. And you're like, holy crap, really? It was that easy? You'll always have one or two that whinge about it, but honestly, don't worry about them. That's normal. You'll be able to attract, sometimes you got to get rid of the old before you can bring in the new. And time again, I have seen this in my own business. We were the most expensive clinic here in Ocean Grove. There were 35 other people that also do massage, and I think our TAM radiated to about a 10K border, and we were seeing over 100 clients a week. Most expensive clinic in the area. Anybody that wanted, if you wanted a cheap massage, you could go down the road and see one of the guys who only charged $60 cash. Awesome. We had 3 Chinese massage places, and Ocean Grove is all of 13,000 people. There were also 3 other allied health clinics from where I was working as well. Price is not what people are objecting on to coming and seeing you. Obviously, your marketing's got to be up on the right level and it's got to be on the right path and it's got to be a match for what you're charging. You can't have elegant, like really high prices and look like something like Groupon or something like that, because it's a mismatch, it's a disconnect. You want to make sure that your marketing is on point and that you're speaking the right message to the right people. But at the end of the day, it's a mindset shift around mastering your relationship with money and being okay with talking about it and knowing that your business can be heart-centered and you can make money from it. Would love to know your thoughts, guys. If this has challenged you or triggered you, by all means, post that below. If this has inspired you to put your prices up, let us know what date, when you're doing it, etc. I want to hear. If anybody is watching and you have put your prices up and everything went terribly and the sun didn't come up the next day and the birds all fell out of the sky and nobody came, I want to hear from you. Haven't had it happen yet. On the other hand, if you did put your prices up and one person objected and the rest just paid it without even flinching, I want to hear from you too, because I think this is a conversation that people need confidence, certainty, and they need to know that it's not the worst thing that's going to ever happen to them if they do put their prices up. Have an absolutely sensational day, guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care.